You're listening to Amazing Radio. This is Amazing Afternoons. I'm delighted to say that I have on the line with me right now Chloe Gardner, aka Chloe and the Brainwaves, the brain behind the Brainwaves. How you doing, Chloe?
I'm good. I'm good. Are you?
I'm very good. It's a good coincidence that we've got you on the line. You've done a session for us as well, that you've got a new single out today. How do you feel about that?
We do. I'm a little bit terrified. It's finally being put into the world, but nonetheless excited, very excited.
Good, good, good. Let's rewind, go back, find out a little bit about yourself because this is only your second single we're going to be playing today as Chloe and the Brainwaves. Tell us a bit about yourself, how long you've been playing music, and why you've decided to do the Brainwaves project.
Okay, so I've been playing since I was around 13, 14. I met the lads at college at Shiny Row in Sunderland, and we started cover bands and stuff, and we're still in a wedding band, me and Michael. But yeah, we've just it's just happened really at the right time. I think we've all kind of matured and we're all ready, to put everything into this, and we just enjoy writing and record and doing out all those bits, that add up to what you all see.
Yeah, it's great what we've had so far. So we had Expensive Things as the debut single. We're going to play a very special version of that in a second. But if you wouldn't mind telling us, what is it a collective influence that you and the guys have in the band, or is it more your influences coming through? And if so, what are they?
It's probably, well, because I write all the lyrics and me and Michael kind of co-write. We co-wrote Expensive Things like chords wise and stuff. It's a bit of everything. I think everyone brings their own influences, probably on their own instruments. Like guitar for Michael, singing for me, like Joni Mitchell, Jeff Buckley, Carole King, like the classics, really. The Beatles, we all love the Beatles.
What did you make of the new Beatles song that came out last week?
It was class. We loved it. It was funny actually because Cook, our bass player, sent a message saying, so maybe our next single, it's called Can't You Love's the Same. We haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Anyway, Cook sent a message in the chat saying it sounds like a B-side to Can't You Love Us the Same, like a sadder version. We're like, no, oops, no way. But yeah, we love the Beatles.
Yeah, I can hear a lot of things in your music. Those artists you mentioned, Joni Mitchell, I think had a big birthday this week as well, didn't she? But
Yeah.
I can hear a bit of Radiohead in the kind of approach and atmosphere. Are they an influence as well?
Yeah, definitely. We love Radiohead. Trying to think who else. We've all loved Foo Fighters, I think.
Mm.
Well, since I was a teenager. Nirvana.
Yeah, there's a bit of grunge in there. There's definitely grunge in there as well, and but there's a certain atmosphere about the music where, and I think that's where how you're differentiating yourselves from other bands coming through at the moment. You have a kind of seriousness to your sound. Would that be fair to say? Do you think?
Yeah, possibly. We're definitely not serious while we're making that sound. We're very, very chill. There's no egos at all in the studio.
That's the best way to be.
It really is. But no, we just enjoy it, and it's what we've always wanted to do. And like Alex and Cook used to be in Cohesion, so
Yeah.
they've kind of done it before. But me and Michael were like, yeah, let's get this on the road. We've been playing weddings for a long time, but it's still fun.
Yeah, very. We'll come on to the live experience soon, but I think we should have the first of the session tracks, Chloe. Expensive Things. So you said that you and Michael wrote this together, Expensive Things. But how long have you had it in the locker then, and how long was it? When it was ready to then getting it out there. What was the process?
So I think it was around 2019, maybe 2018. So
You've been sitting on a while then.
Oh, we sit on everything a while. It's like everything has to fall into an exact place that you need it, But it's just kind of life gets in the way, and making money, doing the boring things, that you sometimes can't be bothered with, but you have to. But it came about the right time, I think, for us anyway.
Cool. Well, let's hear it. This is Expensive Things, former single of the week here on Amazing Afternoons as well. This is Chloe and the Brainwaves in session for us here on Amazing Radio.
Night closes in. Let's start again. Deconstruct our minds, living on the inside. We can all buy expensive things, hide the ways we truly feel. Maybe it's time for things to change, 'cause we're all sick of playing your games. Surrender to me, I'll help you see. Speaking in terms of sadness, you're a 10 out of 10. I'm ashamed, yeah. We can all buy expensive things, hide the ways we truly feel. Maybe it's time for things to change, 'cause we're all sick of playing your games. Games, games. Remedy, remedy me, remedy me. I'm not well, I'm swell. Remedy, remedy me, remedy me. I'm not well, I'm swell, swell. We can all buy expensive things, buy expensive things. Maybe it's time for things to change, 'cause we're all sick of playing your games. We can all buy expensive things to fill the void you've been trying to fill. Maybe it's time for things to change, 'cause we're all sick of playing your silly games.
That was Expensive Things, a very special version from Chloe and the Brainwaves, and Chloe's on the line with me still right now. We've got another session track to play. It's a brand new single, Mind Running Wild. We'll get round to that in a second, but we left the conversation by speaking about the live show a little bit, and I guess it's a little bit of a different crowd to a wedding crowd when you do a gig. Obviously, there's the unknown of doing gigs. Will people turn up? Will people be into the new original sound? But I bet you get a lot more out of playing your own music than Luther Vandross.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's definitely a different, totally different audience. Weddings, everyone's already had a skin full, so they're ready to get on the dance floor, you know. But no, there's nothing quite like doing your own thing, and also then hearing how much the audience love it, or that just their interaction. It's just a lot more rewarding. I'm not crapping on the wedding thing because
No,
it's still...
I was gonna say, Chloe, in fact, you probably learned quite a lot about the industry by doing that for so long, and learned a bit of the craft as well. You know, a large part of playing live, of course, is the performance, isn't it? And how to interact with the crowd, how to be on stage, how to hold yourself. And you've learned that, probably in front of some difficult crowds at some point as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree 100% with that. we also get, sometimes there's little raggy people that want to try and like fight you and stuff, and you're like, what is going on? That hasn't happened at an original gig, so
yeah.
hopefully that won't.
Hopefully that won't happen at the gigs going forward. Let's hear the other session then, Chloe. You've done a lovely version of Mind Running Wild, which is the brand new single, which only came out at midnight last night. Is this another one you've been sitting on for 3 or 4 years and waiting to get out? Was this more of a recent thing? It's very cohesive though. It's just it's a good successive single to the last one.
Yeah, so I wrote this one, and I feel like you're not going to believe this. I wrote it when I was 15. It was the second song I ever wrote. And I've been sitting on it for a long time. But yeah, for this one, it's so personal. It's about abuse and it's about trauma. It's kind of, I had to go through a point of counseling and stuff to get to the point to be able to share this one. And a lot of good people I've been lucky enough to meet have helped that process. But yeah, it's totally a personal choice, this one, and it's very, very personal. So yeah. You said when you're 15, how did it come about? What was the first instrument you would start to write on around that point? Then was it piano rather than guitar, or what was it? Well, I've been playing, my gran had a keyboard in hers when I was a kid, so I'd played a lot on that, and I used to just hear songs I liked and play by ear, so I just remember things. But with this one, it was guitar. I had a really crappy acoustic from Argos.
Didn't everyone though? Everyone's first guitar was the crappy acoustic Spanish guitar from Argos, wasn't it?
yeah. Luckily, this didn't have nylon strings. These were actual acoustic strings, but I know, shocking. But yeah, it was guitar. I started writing on guitar and just never really stopped. There's just a lot of things over the years that I've wrote myself and that we kind of come together, me and Michael, to actually form the demo before like Alex and Lewis were involved. That's kind of how we do it at the minute. Yeah.
So is there ever an occasion where you all 4 you are in a room and you start from scratch, or is it quite often you've got like a chord structure or a song in mind which you want to bring to the table? I mean, what is the process right now?
So we usually have a chord progression or a melody idea. Either I'll work on something at home. There's nothing contrived about it. It's very much how you feel that day, but do go in the studio, and when it comes to the sound, it is very much everyone at that point, because everyone has that, like everyone articulates the way they play, like the drums or guitar, any instrument. And it sounds kind of just those little nuances that are different, but yeah, it's a collective, but we usually start with me, really. Or Michael has a chord progression, and then we just bring it together and work on it like that.
Yeah, and then you get a single, just like Mind Running Wild. You've done a lovely version for us as well. We're going to hear it right now. This is Chloe and the Brainwaves in session for us here on Amazing Radio.
I've had these socks on for 3 days, with no intentions of taking them on. The pain in my head is just getting worse, but I don't want it to stop. Look from the snow, sitting alone, mind running wild, bearing the thoughts of happiness and loss, mind running wild. Is it sad that I've stopped feeling? And I'm cold all of the time. So some conditions has to be bad. Absorb their views and just sit back. Is it sad that I stopped dreaming? An empty promise fills my mind. If you have your own opinion, You could be anything. You could be anything you want. I could be anything. I could be anything I want. Look from the snow, sitting alone, mind running wild, bearing the thoughts of happiness lost. Mind running wild, mind running wild, just like a child. Mind running wild, existing, not living for now, losing myself in the crowd.
Wonderful session right now. That was Chloe and the Brainwaves. It's the brand new single, Mind Running Wild, out today. Came out at midnight last night. There's a nice video as well, doing the rounds on the socials. It looks like you're on top of is it Tunstall Hill in Sunderland where you are?
I am. Me and Andy Martin and Alex went to Tunstall Hill in the freezing cold last month and did a few little shots. It was like Tunstall Hill. We went to Hendon Beach.
All the sites.
All the sites, yeah. It's class.
Yeah, it's very good. And it's a really good single as well. But let's look forward now in the final part of the interview now, Chloe. So live then, I mean, what have you got up your sleeve? And what, we'll take that first. What's the gigs coming up? What have you got before Christmas?
So we have on the 30th of November, we're at the Old Blue Last in Shoreditch.
Been there many times, Chloe. Been there many times. It couldn't be more. It couldn't be more in East London if it tried. So
class.
Yeah,
I thought you would have been there a few times.
Yeah. Our record label was basically like 6 doors along from there. So yeah, it's the beating heart of trendy East London. So you'd be looking forward to that. Is that your first London show? Have you been down before?
It is first London show. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh well, you talked about crowds earlier on. There'll be a lot of crossed arms and industry people, waiting to judge you. But I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So you're playing London in the end of the month, did you say?
Yeah, the 30th of November, and then we've got a headline on the 8th of December. Independent, you've played there a few times as well, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, Independent in Sunderland. But it's a big headline show. Being close to Christmas, are you going to chuck a cheeky Christmas number in there as well?
That wasn't the plan, but now that you've said that, I don't want people expecting stuff,
Yeah, tis the season. But yeah, you must be looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's exciting. We love Sunderland. We're all from Sunderland, so it is nice to see the people that you pass when you're doing your shopping at the weekend. But yeah, it's lush. It's class. Good.
Okay, then, ambitions-wise with the band, what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? What can you say that you want to do? I guess you can say you want to be very successful and you want to make a record one day and get it on, hold it and have it on vinyl. I guess you would like to do that, but what's the first steps? An EP maybe or something like that?
Yeah, we were thinking about maybe an EP next year. But at the minute, just because we're new, it's the singles game, isn't it? It's like drop the single. But yeah, we're hoping. So I'd love to play. Need to say this, Jules Holland. I think that's one of the most. Don't know. You just see all the icons over the years on there. I'd love to play Glasgow as well. Yeah. Even just on like the smallest stage at Glasgow, that would be so nice.
It could happen. But in terms of material-wise, have you got enough in the locker, or are you certainly prolific enough as a group of people to have lots more material coming out in 2024?
Yeah, so we've got like an album's worth really of material right now, and I have tons of stuff that I've just done little demos, recorded over the years, but I'm always writing
Yeah.
So I think there'll never be a dry period of when it comes to songs.
Yeah, that's good, because, you know, if you end up working with a label, I guess they're always going to need, okay, have you just got another couple of songs you can stick on this release or whatever, you know what I mean? And like you say, you're playing the singles game at the moment, but who's to say the game won't change again in a couple of months' time? I mean, you've got the ever-evolving situation of streaming, and it must be very difficult starting out as an artist to, as you know, making original material without the backing of a big label and stuff, because we saw in recent weeks that you need over 1,000 players on Spotify to get you 0.01 pence split by 5 people or whatever. You know, gig fees are improving, but they could be a lot better. Fuel costs to get around, do gigs. It's all up against you. So you've got to really love what you're doing, haven't you, Chloe?
Yeah, definitely. I think it means a lot to be able to just share stuff that maybe other people have experienced, or and actually start a conversation around it. For me, it would be great to, you know, play stadiums or whatever, but as well, I'm still going to do it if I never do that, because we all love it and it means something to us. So I think if you've got that, it really is up against you. But if you have that and you have a love for it, I don't think you ever want to quit that.
Yeah, totally. I know exactly what you mean. Chloe, thanks so much for doing the session for us here on Amazing Radio. We can't wait to see what happens in 2024. You've said those live dates as well, so if anyone's listening around the country and they want to get down to those, you know where to go. I guess you're on, I know you're on all the social platforms, but if you wanted to shout them out for us, Chloe, please. So where can people find you?
So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. What are the other ones again? We're on Spotify, obviously. Follow us on Spotify, please.
Yeah.
Get us that not 0.1 pence.
Makes a big difference. Yeah.
It does. It does. Yeah, we're on all of them. YouTube. Can't think of this, but we're on them.
I'm on Amazing Radio as well, Chloe. So thanks so much for doing the session. Yeah, we really do wish you well. And it's great to see that your talent's being channeled artistically at the moment, and I really can't wait to see what you do next. Thanks so much, Chloe.
Thank you, Frankie. I appreciate it.